A lot of us want to be okay physically. A lot of us want to be okay financially. But not everybody's going to admit, or not everyone is going to seek help when they want to be okay up here. Remember last week I talked to you guys and on like the stories thing up there somewhere, and I was kind of sharing with you that I wanted to talk about depression and anxiety and how a lot of us go through it but don't want to talk about it. I think it's something that we need to talk about more, because a lot more of us go through it than you can imagine. We just don't talk about it. And I'm going to share my experience and how I got in and out of it. So I hope this helps one of you guys and it shows you that it's okay and things are going to get better. But without further ado, I don't even know if that's the right way to do this kind of video. But anyway, let's get started. Last year around this time, I was like on a winning streak, man. I was doing really, really well, both in business, at work, my personal life, my family life, and just anything and everything in general about my life was just going beautifully, and it was going almost too good. Just to give you guys a little bit of like background on anxiety and me, I used to get anxiety and panic attacks when I was in high school. This is like when I was maybe like a sophomore or a junior. This is something that I didn't share with really anyone. I think the only person that knew this was my mother. So last year around this time, around October, November, I was on this winning streak, man. I had just jumped in. No, I hadn't just jumped in. I was maybe like a year and a half, 2 years into this new career, mortgage lending. I was doing really good for myself, both in my professional business career, here on social media, on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff. I was doing really well. I was going to different events. I was getting invited places. I was doing really good. Also with my family, I was doing really well. But I think I know I got very, very complacent and very comfortable. And I feel like that's when like this depressing feeling started sneaking in. I remember in December, it got really tough. Business started slowing down for me, and then just, I don't know, these ugly feelings started coming back that I used to have because of things that I've been through in my life, or my parents' divorce, and just things like that started coming back to me, and it started really, really affecting me, guys, to the point where it was stopping me from being able to do things that I love doing. And one of those things was creating content for you guys. Now, I do want to share that the reason why I'm sharing this story is because I know that it's most likely going to help somebody that's watching this. And I do want to let you know, if you're going through some sort of depression or you've been through it, that doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that you're less, and it doesn't mean that you're never going to get out of it. I mean, a lot of us go through it, but not many of us will openly speak about it. I speak about it because I have a voice and I have this platform and I have you guys, and I know that it's probably going to help someone. If it helps one person, my goodness, I'm extremely happy that happens. But anyway, back to the story. So I started getting these ugly feelings. I started finding it really, really hard to get up in the morning, and that was something that that was the moment that I feel like I realized I was going through something, because I started finding it very difficult to get up in the morning. I just wanted to be in bed all day. I started avoiding my friends. I started avoiding family. I started kind of reclusing. I started hiding. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to do anything. And I actually didn't realize that I was going through something emotionally and inside in here, until I noticed my mother kept asking me, "Are you okay? Is everything fine?" I would always say yeah, until one day I said, "Hold on, am I really okay? Am I fine?" One of the biggest mistakes that I made during this time is that I was putting everybody else before me. I was putting everybody else's feelings and emotions before me, that I forgot to do things that I liked, things that kept me happy and sane. Like I said, everything was going good in my life, so I wanted to do more things like for the people around me and with the people around me and stuff like that. And it was mainly friends, and that was my biggest mistake. I was pushing my family away. And I started getting that feeling. For those of you that don't know, my parents are divorced, which I completely understand. But I never was able to really mourn that until I started feeling lonely, which was recently. This happened when I was 18, and I'm 25 now, and I wasn't able to really mourn it and really like feel it because I was in the moment and I was going through it. So what happened is that I feel like during this time, it really put me in a position where I was finding it really hard to, like I said, get up and do things and really establish relationships with my friends and continue to work on the relationships with my friends, because I can't explain that feeling. It's just something that stops you. Something, it's like this wall that's like up, and it's like, no, like you cannot function. So what happened during this time is that, like I said, my mom, asked me, and she kept asking me. And then when I realized that I was really going through something, I started getting anxiety because of it, because I've always been positive. And I don't know if you guys noticed it. Some of my really, I can say my day one supporters were noticing on Instagram that my content was kind of dying out. I wasn't posting as often, and I wasn't really I wasn't as positive as I had been previously on my stories. As you guys know, I was always like trying to put out something motivational, because that's who I really am. I'm a very I like motivating people around me, and I like seeing people succeed around me and all that stuff. And I got very quiet on social media. I mean, it got to the point where a lot of my close friends started asking me, dude, what's up? Like, where are you at? Like, and I would push that away, which is a very big mistake. If you're going through this, you can't be pushing your friends away. This is when you have to be with your inner circle the most. This is when you need to be around your people. So I highly recommend stick to your people and talk to someone. Ask them for help, because it's very difficult. Now, the way that I was able to get out of it is I sat down and I spoke to my mom. I still remember the conversation with my mother. We were outside of my house in the driveway, and we had gone out to do something. And I come back and I just start crying. I start crying and tears start rolling down my eyes. And I tell my mom, I gotta talk to you. And she's like, okay, what's wrong? And she was scared. She probably thought I got someone pregnant, but no. I was like, Mom, I'm not okay. And she looks at me and she's like, I know, but I was waiting for you to approach me. And I told her, Mom, I'm not okay. I'm going through something. I don't feel like I'm myself. I'm not okay. And immediately I started feeling the support of my sister and of my brother-in-law, and which big shout out to them for being there for me. And that's what really helped me out. I was able to open up and share with my mom and share with my family what I was going through. I was going through tough times, and it was more, I was in my head, guys. I was really in my head. When you start getting into this dark place, it gets very difficult to get out of it. It gets really hard, and it's not something easy, but it's something that you have to push yourself out of. You have to push yourself. If you notice people around you asking you consistently, like, hey, everything good? Like, dude, check up on yourself. Like, check up on yourself. Check up on you. Are you okay? And if you're not, seek help. And I highly recommend you seek help from the people around you, your closest friends, your siblings, and really let them know that you're not doing well so they can keep an eye on you. I promise you that whatever it is that you're going through, if you're listening to this, whatever it is you're going through, it's going to get better. It doesn't stay bad. I'm a very strong believer in we get to choose the life that we're going to live. And why do I say that? Don't knock that, because I know it probably doesn't sound the best right now, but don't knock that. We really do get to choose. Every morning you wake up and you have a choice. Do I want to be happy? Happiness comes in here. It comes from in here. It comes from inside your heart. It comes from within you. You can't depend on people and on others to make you happy. You have to be happy alone. You have to be happy by yourself in order to really grow and prosper. So that's what really what helped me, guys. I was open about it, and I sought help. As far as anxiety, I was starting to get anxiety attacks. I used to think, not used to, because like I said, I had experiences with them, but in high school they weren't really strong. I mean, I had panic attacks to where I would have to, if I was in a big crowd, I would have to go hide a bit, but then I would come back out and I was fine. I was never really on medication. I never took the medication. Never took medication because I just didn't want to be one of those kids, I didn't want to have to depend on a pill to be happy. I really didn't want to do that. So thank God I had a lot of self-control when it came to that. And even though it was prescribed, I could never take it. Something that I shared with my mom, I just didn't want to do it. Anxiety is something different, man. Anxiety is that you start feeling like a panic attack, like you can't breathe right. You start getting all hot, or you start getting cold, or you start getting these weird feelings, like you start getting jittery, and you just can't stay still. And that's what would happen to me. The way that I would get it is when I was like in big crowds, I would have to like kind of recluse and hide a little bit, and then I would calm down. This is back when I was in high school, but the way that it came back this time was I felt anxiety because I knew I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, or what I really wanted to be doing. And it was just like eating at me. It was attacking me. And it was just like really kicking my ass, man. Like I would get moments where I was driving and I would start shaking, and my heart would start beating really fast, and I would start breathing fast. And I would felt like I was out of breath. So all I got to tell you guys is for depression and anxiety and the way that I went through it, seek help. Reach out to one of your friends. Be vocal about it. And don't think that you're weak just because you're going through something. Believe me, a lot of us go through stuff. I wasn't going to share this, but I think it's important to bring light to this. A lot of us want to be okay physically. A lot of us want to be okay financially. But not everybody's going to admit, or not everyone is going to seek help when they want to be okay up here in your head and in your heart. That's something that I really want to, if you guys remember me for anything, or if you guys say, hey, look, this guy said something that's important, please remember to check on yourself and check on your friends, even the strongest ones. Because believe me, even there's people hiding depression and anxiety behind a smile. Check on your friends. Really be there and be engaged in conversations with your people. We live in a life. We live in an era where it's difficult to have genuine conversations with people. So if I can give you guys and offer you guys a piece of advice, is that be genuine with your people, love one another, check up on each other, check up on all your people. Make sure that your people are good, and make sure that you're good over everything. Put yourself before as well. Make sure that you're fine, and then make sure that your friends are fine, and that your people are fine, that your loved ones are fine. Because it's tough. It's tough out there, guys. And if you listen to this and you're at the end right now and you're going through it, it's going to be okay. I promise you it's going to be okay. Things are going to get better. It's not going to stay like that. If I got through it, so can you. Mi gente, as always, I appreciate you guys so much for your time. Thank you for saying yes to wanting me to talk about this. If these are topics that you guys want to hear more about, please let me know in the comments below, or send me a message if you don't want to be public about it. This is my first video doing something like this, so I'm not sure how to do it, if I did it right or wrong. I'm sharing with you my experience with depression and anxiety. I hope it helps one of you guys out. But yeah, I'll see you guys on my stories, or posting funny videos, I don't know, or on YouTube as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening up. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.